Hi guys, good morning. Good morning to you guys all across the world. Today is another wonderful day. We're going live today in the UK with some special guests, some great guys online. But before they join us, let me just quickly play a message from the sponsor.
You are listening to the Message Talk Show and Podcast. Do you believe you have something to share? Do you believe you have something to contribute? Do you have a story to tell the world, to share with your community? Gandhi said, man often becomes what he believes himself to be. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So join us on the Message Talk Show and Podcast with host Alex Gordon.
Yes, we're live, guys. We're live. How are you today?
Hello, good, thank you. Good, very good.
Good. Keeping well?
Yes, thank you.
We didn't wake you up, Francis. We didn't wake you up, did we, Francis?
No, not at all.
Or busy studying some manual, all the books that you read.
Well. No,
okay,
cool.
Today we have with us two special guests, Michael Earl and Francis Labinja. Michael is a well-being consultant. And Michael, just introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, hi, hello everybody. My name is Michael Earl. As Alex said, I'm a wellbeing consultant, but my background is social care. So I've been in frontline social work for the past 11, 12 years. Then I resigned 4 years ago to set up my own wellbeing consultancy because I was actually seeing how the stress of the work was affecting my colleagues and other professionals. And I also had my own episode as well. And then when that happened, I realized that I had to do something about it because it's great to talk, but we need to take action. So I set up the Wellbeing Consultancy to give back, to help my other fellow colleagues and other people in general, but mainly professionals, to realize, be aware of, and take care of their own well-being. Because as the saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. So I'm trying to re-educate people to look after themselves so they can do the jobs that they're meant to do.
Let me make a note of that one quote you just did there. You can't pour from an empty cup. I'm just going to make a note of that, right? I will credit you with that one, all right, Earl?
That's okay.
Michael?
That's
Francis,
okay.
Introduce yourself. Let me give you respect here. Dr. Francis Labinja.
Wow.
Just call me Francis, please. I'm a psychiatrist. and I'm Michael. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
I'm a psychiatrist as well as a physician, and we are on the front line.
Wow.
And obviously, as you know, your expertise is going to be required at some point in the next 1 or 2 weeks, because I am doing a lot of consultations from people who are locked in, who got mental issues, who want to go out for a walk, and they said they can't. And they're telling me what to do as they go out. But not only that, I think the level of anxiety is going to rise and rise. And I don't see anything from this government about community-based interventions that will help people like that. And I think that's where, Michael, where you're going to come in.
Okay, Francis, let's stop you there. Don't give out all the solutions yet, Francis.
Okay.
All the solutions, yeah? Now, Francis, give us an update on what you're seeing at the moment, because you're on the front line more than anyone.
Okay. As I can tell you from the briefing we have yesterday, the briefing on the radios and the media is a 1 day behind. They're cranking up. It's a little bit like I don't know if you guys like cricket, like you've been facing a gentle off spinner, and they're going to bring on some West Indian quicks. They're ramping up the pressure.
Wow.
I do believe that they're filling up all the ITU beds in London.
Wow.
And I think it's going to. It is looking. We're tracking the Italian experience. Maybe they're trying to manage the anxiety and public fears, and therefore perhaps they're playing it down just a bit.
Wow. That's amazing.
I got my goggles a few days ago, so I'm fairly getting equipped up, but it's still not enough. But it will do.
You said you got your goggles.
Goggles, protective equipment, and the mask. However, at the end of the day, only by the grace of God, a colleague of mine died 2 days ago, and only by the grace of God, you just do the washing hands and things. This nasty thing doesn't last longer until it gets into your your breathing passages. So you got to keep away from it.
Wow.
I have no doubt.
That is terrible, man. That is terrible. So you're saying that what we're seeing at the moment and the information they're giving us, they're almost like 24 hours behind.
Yep, I'll give you an example. Obviously, they're not building mortuaries for nothing. They're not building nightingales of this world for nothing.
Wow.
Because they are going to be used. But the point is, we have to keep safe until this thing passes. That's the bottom line. Is there's no point perishing with the tornado. It's I think it's real. There's no doubt. Only God knows what brought it on, but that's another discussion.
And when you say keep safe, guys, I mean, Michael, what are you seeing out over in Middle England there? What are you seeing where you are about people keeping safe?
Right. Well, I think generally we are, adhering to the government regulations. But what I've noticed on the roads, I still believe, this is a personal voice, what I'm saying, that there's still a lot of traffic on the roads, and I don't know where people are going. What I believe is people aren't really getting the full understanding of the weight of this situation, as Doctor said. It's really, really serious, and we need to be following the government directives. I mean, I've seen people walking around in groups. I mean, groups of 4 and 5.
Wow.
Not social distancing. That's down here in Bristol.
Yes.
Now, you don't want this to happen, but because people can't, it's like they can't see it. It is invisible, right? It's not visible. It's invisible, and I think that is half the issue. We're fighting up against something that we cannot see, and we like to see things. Okay, we're built that way. But because we can't see it, it's like, oh, the sun comes out and everybody thinks it's okay, and it's not okay.
Yes.
And that's the issue. We need to take this thing seriously before it kicks in, because we haven't hit the peak yet. So I'm speaking like this. My wife's a medic. Sorry, I better let you know. That's what you think. Why are you talking like this? My wife is a medic, so she's on the front. She's gone to work now, actually. So she's on the front line. So I have a little bit of background information, just like the doctor said. So she's an actual NHS medic. She's a children's doctor. So she's telling me that we haven't hit the peak yet. And people really need, we are social distancing from our mother-in-law. We have her in isolation. We ring her. We FaceTime her, because we need to keep her safe. We don't visit her. If we need to drop food off, we drop it in the correct way. We drop it at the door. We go and we FaceTime her. So it's things like that we need to practice now, not later. It's gonna be too late. Just like the doctor said, it's gonna be too late. We need to do that stuff now and take heed to it, because it's not a joke.
It's not. On the other side of it, when they decide to do an inquest on how the hell this country got it wrong, we can all sit down. But you've got to get through this. I mean, I leave my stuff in the car. I leave my clothes bagged, and they're going straight into the wash. I'm not going to come in home and infect my family. I know I'm meeting people with COVID every day, and it's not. I'm not messing with it, because we don't know everything about it. All I know is I don't want it touching my respiratory passages.
So, Francis, when you come home from work, you can't enter the house with the clothes that you've got on.
No,
at all.
Well, I've got hand gel, I've got everything, but I leave my anorak and my jacket in the boot.
In the boot of the car.
And then I go and have whatever I come in with is bagged. I'm going straight into the laundry. Then have a shower, and then you talk to people. It is. You've got to keep it out. We know it doesn't last long on any surface, but you've got to keep it out until we know a little bit more, or until they get the vaccine. Respect to your wife, Michael.
How long does it last on the surfaces then? How long does it last on the surface? But just what you said.
It varies, but don't forget that it's estimated. On the metal surface is about 12 hours. The longest is on metal surface. On other surfaces is anything from 2 hours,
right,
to 12. So if you leave your stuff downstairs, it's going to die by the morning. If you want to be that, but keep it out. It's because it's not just you. What of the vulnerable ones in your household?
Yes.
They don't even know what's going on, but they know because I'm taking it seriously. Everybody's cranking up, and I've had to have the hard discussion with my wife in terms of my will and things. So because she's not going to go to Africa and contest my estate. So she's Jamaican. So I've never heard her so quiet.
Amazing.
They always say 2 to a dozen, but she was quiet.
So what about, because they've been asking for volunteers to come and help, and I'm concerned that all these volunteers who probably are not very much clinically trained, but they want to help, and they're now.
Well, this is the point. You have to separate the politics from. Let's say, for example, I have a caseload of shut-ins, people on cancer treatment who have mental health issues. However, and they are anxious. If they put somebody, look, and I don't want to have a go at the churches, but there is counseling and there's also pastoral counseling. I don't see much element of the pastoral input, but people like you, Alex, who you're a reverend, you will be such a massive influence on the way people are behaving and the way they are dealing with the problem.
Wow.
But nobody is inviting the spiritual input, but we are not pushing forward either. I find that odd.
People are just watching their own corners. They're
Yeah.
watching their own corners and not being.
But when it's all over, if anybody comes to me about tithing, I will not be very polite. No.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna go. You're at church now. So you're talking about actually being on the front line, because we have a lot of voluntary situations where there's support groups out there providing food, feeding people, taking foods to people's homes. I know that's happening because even my pastor has been really pushing that very hard in our local area.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, same here as well.
Michael, you want to come in?
Yeah, no, I was just saying we're doing the same thing here as well with our church. We are getting involved in the community, and we're helping out our seniors as and when we can, and keeping them safe, because that's our main priority. Really, we're really focusing on our seniors because they can't get out. They will have to self-isolate because they're a vulnerable category, as you know. So yeah, we are sort of getting around them and supporting them, and we're reaching out to other areas in our community as well. So we're not just looking after our own, but we're looking after the general community. So it's happening.
Last Thursday, we did a food bank last Thursday in Brixton, but you are not going to believe the people I was dropping bags to are not church people, but they are on cancer treatment. They're isolating. They're in their 70s. Wow. How do you think they are coping? When you talk to them on the phone, and a lot of these elderly ladies are very good at social media and they can text and things, and just saying, we feel we are being written off. Am I going to die? And I just say, wow, I can only leave some hope. That's what I'm saying, Alex, that where are our ministers about giving hope?
Yeah, we need to raise the hope level now.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is hope. Because there is the human will to live. The human will alone is very strong. It's very powerful. But when the human will gives up and decides that, this is it, then the whole system shuts down.
Yeah.
Mind over matter.
Mind over matter. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Not only that, research shows, and Michael, you probably know as well, that the ones of our depressed patients, the ones who commit suicide, are the ones who have no hope.
Right.
They don't see a way in the future.
Right. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Hope is actually, if I could prescribe it, I will.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. 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 And that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying to you.
Borrow you cannot pour from. Yes, I got my handwriting. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Is that what you said?
Yes.
We have to fill that cup with hope.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Good mug of hope.
Exactly. Spot on. Spot on. And as I was saying to you earlier, Alex, about that's why when I said it's seasonal, I said that intentionally because as you know we live in seasons. We have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Yeah. Now, can you imagine if we didn't live in seasons, and winter was the only thing? We had eternal winter. Can you just picture that just for a moment?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you woke up and it was winter. 365 days of winter. Can you imagine that? But the reason that makes life so amazing is that it's seasonal, Because in the middle of winter, you know that after a certain period of time,
It's gonna
spring is
It's
coming.
coming. It's coming.
It does, and then
know
it
it's gonna
doesn't matter how cold it gets.
It's coming.
Mhm.
Yes, because you know that at some point, winter will end and spring will start, and then after spring is summer.
Now you're preaching. Now you're preaching.
Sorry.
You're preaching.
Preach, man, preach.
You're telling the season's going to
and
change.
that,
Something's going to happen. Okay.
yeah,
That
this
is
that
hope.
and that's it. This is hope. The hope is that this is a season. It's not an eternal thing.
Right.
It's a season, and we have to. And that's what the doctor says. We have to tell people that this is a season. This
Yeah.
will pass.
Right.
This has come to pass. It's not
Yeah.
taking up residence.
Yeah.
It's not paying rent, and it's not taking out a mortgage. It is
Yeah.
gonna come to pass.
It's not permanent.
I'm gonna stop now. Sorry, I have some coffee. I'll stop. Sorry.
Go on.
No, please.
And nobody's written off. We've got to assure people that nobody's written off here.
Absolutely.
Whatever age you are,
Heaven
nobody's
forbid.
written off. We're
That's
pulling
true.
through this together.
Absolutely. We all need each other.
Yeah.
Every generation.
Yeah. The
Every
message that we have to
generation.
get out to Francis is that we're pulling through this together. That has to be
Yeah.
heard.
You see, that word, we are in it together. I've never so much heard it and believed it until now. We are really in it together. Really. Including those who are at home, who are staying at home. We are in this together. It's just different aspects of the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
It's,
mean, and I think one of the reasons why we probably feel it so much, if this was about 25 years ago, if this took place, the information wasn't flowing across the world as fast as it is now.
No.
yeah, thank
no.
God for social media.
So we wouldn't have known what's happened across the world. We would have just heard whoever the powers that be decided to tell us.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So therefore, psychologically, it wouldn't affect us, and we probably wouldn't act because we wouldn't know. But at the
Well,
moment,
Alex, you're a very widely skilled. You have expertise in so many aspects of business and life. I mean, have you ever seen the contingency planning in this thing for the United Kingdom?
no,
Where is the contingency plan?
no.
We know there's a biosecurity target. There was no plan.
There was no plan. There's been discussions about this because there's things that have come out to say guys have been discussing this for years, but no government has actually put a plan in place.
Yeah, but what
Wow.
if it's in nerve gas? I mean, I don't want to go into conspiracy, but this virus doesn't behave like the ordinary coronavirus. It is a double pneumonia, not a cold.
So when you say that it doesn't behave like the ordinary
No.
coronavirus, corona has been around for some time then,
That's since 1972.
right?
Wow.
3-4% of common cold is corona.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but this one, something about it just doesn't act like it catches you quickly, it spreads quickly, and it uses you to spread. And what it does in the lungs, I've never seen I've not seen a postmortem of the body. Descriptions are awful. It's
Wow.
awful. Mm.
Wow.
That is. I mean, but when you look at the countries that are facing this severely, are you wondering how are they coping? I mean, when you look at the news on Italy, are you thinking, guys, how can they handle what's going on? How?
Well, Alex, Italy has twice the number of respirators as England as we speak, and they are overwhelmed. It's not nice. As you said, we have to think of hope. I want to act by faith and say we are going to pray this thing down. However, it doesn't bear thinking. If it tracks Italy, we are in big trouble.
Wow.
It's not. I think you can believe the politicians only up to a point because they are fighting for their jobs. If there's civil unrest and people say we're not doing this home thing anymore, the government will fall. So they're managing the news, but I can tell you they are breathing down on us to show me the evidence of this, evidence of that. We're creating like 20% capacity because next week we're going to use the beds. I'm discharging a lot of people who've been well for months. You're no longer going to, because we're taking some heavy load from elsewhere.
Wow.
Because when you hear them say that we haven't peaked yet, and when you just listen to the news, you think, okay, no, these guys are making this up. What does it mean that we haven't peaked yet?
Look, Alex, it's coded language. We haven't peaked yet, but the 500 are dying every day. And you say we haven't, but they're not going to tell you 1,500 will be dying every day. And it's going to be, sooner or later, you know somebody who knows somebody who's died of it. But they will say, but we told you people are going to die prematurely. Huh? But that's not the whole thing. How did we get?
Okay, all right. So we know that's going to happen, guys. We know we haven't peaked yet. We know it's going to happen. So what can we do for those people locked up in their homes now in isolation, and they're feeling isolated, they're feeling depressed, what can they do, guys? What can they do?
We have just got to manage. I mean, sorry, Michael, that's down your street. You know
Right.
you can do it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, thank you, Doctor. What I was going to say, Alex, as you were talking, and I was just thinking, how we need to look at isolation, we need to reframe it, okay? And I believe the reframing that we should use is that there is consolation in isolation.
Okay, say that again.
There is consolation in isolation. We need to reframe.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because basically, it's going to save our lives. It's going to save the lives of our loved ones.
Yeah.
So this
That's
is
the
about
reality.
reframing our language. And language, as you know, Doctor, and you, Alex, is very, very powerful. We need to reframe it, because what we're looking, everyone's thinking that isolation is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Isolation will probably save more lives than anything else. And that is how we have to look at this,
Michael,
especially with
can you
our seniors.
Can you imagine the entire borough of Lambeth hearing what you've just said? It is incredibly powerful, but we're not piping it into the homes.
Yeah, I know. We have
We're
to
going to learn something from this.
Yeah, hopefully.
Wow.
Hopefully. But we need to reframe. So when people say, "Oh, I'm fed up of being stuck in here," you have to say, "Hang on a minute. No, this isn't punishment. This is saving your life."
That's what it feels like. to people.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Yeah, it
because
feels like
we've never done this before, Alex. We've never had to live like this before. It is a new. We're living in a new way. The way that we look at the world, the way that we're living, has changed, and it will change forever, because nobody's ever going to forget March 2020. You're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're not. So what we need to
As far as
do.
I'm concerned, it's we're never going to work the way we used to work.
No.
And hopefully some new ways of working will emerge.
Yes.
Where we can actually impact people in their homes.
Yeah, absolutely. There's got to be some hope. There's got to be consolation, and that's what we need to do. We need to sow that. We need to change the dialogue. We need to change the dialogue. We need to change what people are hearing.
Isolation.
So you're saying there's consolation in isolation, all right? So they're at home. For those of people who have gardens to go in, and that's not too bad. They can go and sit in the garden. They can go and do it in the garden. But where you haven't got a garden and you're in a flat, so you're just in the confines of the brick. Mm-hmm. What can you do?
Right. What I do this at home now. I've been practicing this for a while. It's a little bit of personal development. I know you're into this, Alex. But when you go on YouTube, you need to listen to people like Les Brown, Jim Rohn. You can hit these guys up on YouTube. You don't have to go far. This is social media. Les Brown, Jim Rohn, John Maxwell. These are the things you have playing in your house while you're in isolation.
Feed your mind.
If you've got to feed your mind, that's it. And stop watching the news.
Come away from the news.
Come away from the news. But you're going to find out what's going to happen anyway. You can't hide from it. You know it's happening. Come away from the news. And like I said, you program your mind. Because if you don't program your own mind, someone or something else will program it. And you have to take control of your mind. Your mind is powerful.
Michael,
It will. Yeah,
what do you think about mindfulness? I do believe a lot in mindfulness.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Being mindful, and again, it's about taking control and not letting people put things in your mind. No, you say what comes in your mind. You control what you read. You control what you look at. So we have to encourage people and empower people to let them know that, yes, even in the confines of their home, if it's a flat, you still have the control over what comes into your mind.
Yes.
And that will never change wherever you are, whether you're in a penthouse or in a tent, you control what comes in. And that's what we have to empower people to do this. Yeah.
That's fundamental.
Yes.
Fundamental.
Absolutely.
What you're feeling at the moment.
Yes. Not just your stomach, your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind.
So, as a psychiatrist, Francis, what can you see are the after effects of this?
Oh, there'll be a lot. There'll be a lot of depression, anxiety. However, I'm comforted that during the Second World War, the number of suicides actually went down. And the only theory we have of the reason for that is there was social cohesion.
Okay.
So social cohesion may be a powerful weapon for preventing people from losing hope because they're geeing up each other.
Yes.
That's great.
I am really
clap the hands the other day. Clap the hands for the health workers. That was
good.
The singing that I see happening around the world. That's brilliant as well.
Yeah.
Happening every day.
Those things are good, and they really in your down moments, because this thing is tiring, it's exhausting, it's depressing. Then you say, oh, somebody actually cares. In the back of your mind, you think, well, people are backing me. They've got my back. It means a lot. It really means a lot. It's impossible to overstate that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the other thing that we can do, Alex and Doctor, I'm sure, just get on the phone and phone a friend. Phone someone. Have a conversation.
Text.
Yeah, text. If you don't want to phone, just text. Say, hi, how are you doing? How are you today? Just get in touch with people. And as you said, the social cohesion. Let people know that you're thinking about them. Look, I'm praying for you. I know I can't see you, but I'm just sending a text to see how you are. Text me back. Set up a phone call. Just a phone call.
Normally that works well for people who come from, say, large families, and but when you're not from a large family, or that you have no other family around you, and you're not in the work at the moment, you're not at work, so you're at home, and you don't come from a wide network of friends. Who contacts you?
That is a good point, Doctor. Sorry,
but that is one aspect, and then the ethno-cultural aspect of it. I mean, a good 1/3 possibly of my caseload is Bengali. I don't know how they are being told. A lot of them have shut down their little cafes and their takeaways, and they are beginning to look depressed. And I just think, where is the support mechanism? I don't know whether there's one. It would be nice if there was.
Wow. So we're talking about community centers. You can't congregate, can you? So those people are in isolation, and unless they have family members that can reach out to them. But this is also what I'm talking about. Your neighbor. We come from that that era about love your neighbor as yourself. It's something that from our favorite book, love your neighbor as yourself. If there's ever a time now for your neighbor just knock on the door to see how you are, it's now.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great simple act that you can do. Obviously, practicing social distancing, of course. But you can just knock on the door and say, "Hi, are you okay? Do you need anything from the shop?"
Well, everyone's got a neighbor. Everyone has a neighbor.
Yeah, so just knock on the door.
My neighbor yesterday wanted to talk for so long. I just said, "Look, I've got to go to work." Poor lady, she wanted to, and I just thought, one, I need to distance myself because she's a 70-year-old.
Wow.
And 2, I can't stop. I mean, we've gone well over 5 minutes, and my car was revving away. So it's going to be pent up. We just hope that it doesn't last for too long.
Well, there's a lot of information flowing out there, and the other day I was thinking about this, about where these things come. There's a lot of information flowing out, and we want to make people understand that don't focus so much on the stories that are coming out to say where it came from. Focus on keeping yourself safe.
Yes.
Focus on doing the things that you need to be doing.
Yes.
All right. There's stories all over the place.
I'm not bothering myself with the conspiracy theories. When we get through this, when I wash my hands well, and this thing is not going to get near me, I can think about it. I mean, I think it will going to come to light what happened. How did this thing start in Wuhan? At this point in time, I think the Caribbean countries are doing a marvelous job. Some of the Nigeria, Ghana are doing a marvelous job. But one of these days, we will present them a fat bill to China. Look, this is like the second coming of the slave trade. This time, reparations will be there. Somebody has to explain, you're minding your own business, but then can you not see the leadership? I heard the Prime Minister of Jamaica pray. Man, he touched God.
Wow.
I saw that he touched God. That's what I'm saying. What is happening to our ministers here?
Yeah, prayer is an essential key now because with isolation, and whether you're a believer or not, whatever you believe in, the act of praying and connecting your mind to a higher being.
Yes, absolutely.
It's essential. I mean, let the political, but we know we serve a mighty God. That is not in doubt, and nothing is impossible for God. Allowed this thing to happen. God didn't cause it, but He allowed it to happen so that His name will be glorified at the end of it.
Yeah, and I believe there's a lot of praying happening because of this, which is a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Next week,
that people are praying.
Prayer line in Brixton. Next week, we're going to 3 times a day. Right. I can definitely link into the 3 o'clock one. The lunch one is during our briefing huddle here. Yeah. But look, we have to step it up.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's about keeping our mind. It's about focusing the mind. Feeding the mind information that will keep the mind, keep us going, keep us focusing, keep us looking beyond Corona. Because if we don't focus beyond Corona, then there'll be no beyond for us.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a season. It's a season. It's a season. It's not forever. It's a season.
The season. So, any final words, guys, that you want to give out to the community? Anything that you want to talk about there? That's what you're promoting locally.
Yeah. Well, like the doctor was saying, we really need to focus on giving each other hope.
Yes.
Because as you both said, hope is very powerful. It's very potent, and we can't just leave it aside. We need to put this now front and center, because people are looking for something beyond this. They're thinking, is this it? And we're saying, no, this is not it. We've got to focus on the future, focus on the things that you want to do, positive things, helping each other to get through this. And we need to be sowing the seeds of hope. Definitely. Wherever we go, sow the seeds of hope.
This is my soap spray. It says domestos on it, but I've filled it with soapy water.
You filled it with soapy water?
Yes. The nasty thing cannot stand soap, can it?
Right. Okay.
Right.
This is what? This is my Kalashnikov.
Right.
Excellent.
Zapping.
So you're zapping. You're zapping everywhere. You walk with that. That's your little gun.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And hand gel. I just hand gel around my waist.
You've got hand gel around your waist.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look.
You are armed. Armed.
I am seriously
armed and dangerous.
In my other pocket is my Bible.
The word
one is my hand gel, and I walk around with this, and I've got my mask and my goggles, and I'm doing my best physically.
Wow.
But I know He who knows the future is the one who is looking after us.
And how do you keep your mind, Francis? Because you're going out there every day into the actual what's happening, and you're seeing in front of you. How do you keep your mind?
Well, purely through support of people and the church, to be honest, to be the prayer lines and so on. It makes a lot, because you're seeing somebody who is COVID, who has the symptoms. There's no two ways about it. But two things.
There's no two ways about it. What do you mean? They when they have the symptom, there's no doubt that they have it.
Look, if they have the red line, the red flags, like the fever and the cough, dry cough, and it's new, it's not like they were smokers, etc. It is the COVID. Never mind the test. Never mind the test. But so you're not going in there and then taking it home. So I already prepared the home for their bit, because it's better one parent dies than if two parents This is what I mean. So,
Wow.
because my youngest is only 14. So, and after that, let's do this. You do your best to prepare, but the worst can happen. You may just be unlucky.
Yeah. Okay. There was something you said earlier about hope, Michael, which I was going to comment on that, because I remember when Barack Obama was president, and when every word that came out of Barack Obama's mouth was based on hope. He was always pushing some sort of hope.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the opposition parties ridiculed him. The other politicians ridiculed him for preaching hope too much. They said his candidacy was based on hope too much. They wanted real what were happening. Now we're begging for hope.
Right. Did you see? This hope is
And you see
powerful.
the numbers in America.
My God.
Phew.
Hope is
They're
powerful.
thinking,
Yeah. Hope keeps people alive, Alex. It keeps people alive. And I'm sure the doctor will agree with me. The people who die first are the ones who haven't got anything to focus on, to hope for. If you're sick, if you are sick in bed and you are not thinking, I'm going to get out of here. When I get out of here, I'm going to plant my garden for the seeds for the summer. Because you're not thinking about where you are. You're thinking about, I'm going to be in my garden and I'm going to be planting and I'm going to be reaping what I'm going to be. You're focusing on your garden. That's hope.
Yeah, that's hope.
You cannot lie in your bed and think, oh my God, here we go. This is it. It's the end. Because it will be the end. You're calling it down on yourself.
You're touching my favorite topic now. What is your dream? What is your dream? What is your dream? Because a dream makes
Well, I tell you my dream is for Alex to do a podcast or you guys to do a podcast. I can promise you I will share it with any one of my patients who needs it. Honestly, it is more therapeutic than you think.
Wow.
Please,
Okay.
if you have a moment, and you can, Alex,
Okay.
your gift.
Well, this recording as well. I can download the recording and the audio, and I can upload it to iTunes. No, it's not a problem.
Okay.
I can get that going.
I know it's not a problem for you. We just can't catch you. You don't come out to play anymore. We used to talk a lot. You can't. Well, I'll have a quiet word with you later on.
You got my number now, man. You have
your number. You don't come out to play anymore. And Michael, you don't need. Well, I wouldn't mind if you don't come to London at this point in time with the epicenter.
Yeah.
But we would like.
When it's done, when this is over.
When this is over, please,
Yes.
I'm gonna link up with you because we have some awareness things we do, particularly for the Black population. I think
Michael is someone you can catch online. He's always talking. Michael talks every day. Michael puts a word out every day. If you go to the Speakers Hub, you'll find Michael. If you go to the Black Community Forum on Facebook, you'll find Michael. He's there all the time.
I'm not hiding.
Don't deflect the attention from yourself. Michael, you could never out-talk Alex, and it makes sense. That's what's annoying about it.
No, Alex is in a league of his own.
Yeah.
Guys, I really appreciate you guys coming out today, spending the time having this conversation.
It's
talking about
vital. We need to do this.
Yeah, this is what we need to do, and encourage people to do their small bits.
Yeah.
And what that thing you said about social cohesion, Francis, that is so important.
Yeah.
We've got to find it. We've got to push it. And Michael, you said you can't pour out of an empty cup.
No, you got to fill up. You got to fill up on hope.
So we have to fill our minds. Our minds. Go to YouTube. Find John Maxwell. Find Jim Rohn. Find
Les Brown.
Find the speaker. And Francis, take out your phone and press record on YouTube and speak what's in your head, Francis.
I'll try.
Michael, I know you're doing that as well. So I want to encourage you to keep doing that.
Yeah. One more thing, Alex, I'd like to say. When you see your friends or your loved ones, or if you're on the phone or if you're texting them, tell them that you love them. Just tell them that you love them.
Yes.
Tell them that you love them.
Why is that important?
Because we don't know if we'll get another chance to do it, Alex. As simple as that. It's as simple as that. This is not. I'm not going to pretty this up. We don't know if we'll get another chance to say it. So when you get a chance, tell them that you love them.
Put it this way: if I caught it, I'm not going to go home. I will not go home. I will isolate myself or be in hospital. And I'm not going to spread the bad news. I'm not going to spread the anxiety and possibly cause a fatality.
Wow.
You know, so that's how it is. We have to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst, really.
Wow, that is a tough one. We've got to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, guys, we're going to say goodbye. We're going to tune out from Message Talk Show, and we're going to bring a broadcast every week, every Thursday, 11 o'clock. Tomorrow, I'm doing a broadcast tomorrow on Friday at 12:30, and that one we'll be talking about the what release we can get from the government. I've got a consultant coming on to tell us what release we can get from the government.
Excellent.
To help our businesses, to help what we've got going, so we can move beyond. So, guys, I'm thank you very much. Don't go away. I'm going to play this tune now, so don't disappear, guys. And then let me just play this.
You are listening to the Message Talk Show and Podcast. Do you believe you have something to share? Do you believe you have something to contribute? Do you have a story to tell the world, to share with your community? Gandhi said, man often becomes what he believes himself to be. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So join us on the Message Talk Show and Podcast with host Alex Gordon.
So I'm thanking Michael. I'm saying goodbye to you guys. And